well. You heard them all laugh just now. He is a friend of the show, one of our most favorite performers and most loyal fans. He's also getting married in like a week or in a couple days. That's not a week. It's gonna be amazing. Guys, put your double shot showcase hands together for Chris DeNardo!
It's great to be here, and I love this new space. I think this is the first double shot showcase I've actually had to take public transportation to get to. It's a first for me. I love it. It's very different. I love all these models. Basically, if I do stand up over here, I feel like I'm in the middle of an Old West shooting gallery. So Double Shot has a big momentous event happening. They just moved to this new space. It's actually very close to a momentous event for me as well. I just passed my 1-year anniversary of doing stand-up comedy. Very recently, and I think Cody and Alexandra, they've known me a while. They've seen me from when I was just like a green, just like naive open micer. And they've seen me grow into what I am today, which is like a super confident, competent, smooth receptionist. I don't even need to use my notes anymore. Like I have the phone numbers up here. The whole department, just right here. So I hit the comedy anniversary. I've just been hitting. Has anyone else been hitting the major life events really hard lately? No? It's okay. If you haven't, don't say you have. But just in the last 8 months, it's been crazy. I got a grown-up job. I got engaged. I opened a retirement account. I bought a computer. It's like breakneck pace. I wouldn't be surprised if in a year I had a baby. Like that's how it's happening. And in like 5 years I'll be dead. It's all happening so. Whoa. Is there anything like Star Trek? I love Star Trek. I loved it as a kid. And the reason I loved it as a kid was just I loved the technology. I love all the sci-fi stuff. They were in a spaceship. They had cool communicators and everything. And actually, in the time since I was young, and since when I grew up, come on in. It's okay, I know you. 92% of the audience knows me. Is it gonna be 95? Is your husband coming? Is he on his way? Jake's coming? Okay, 95%. All close friends. Where was I? When I was a kid, I would watch Star Trek because of the technology, the sci-fi. But in the intervening years, we've actually surpassed pretty much all of the technology from the original series of Star Trek. Everything we have now that wasn't a plot device, we do better. And even like everyone's running around the tablet computers now like they had on the Next Generation. Now I watch Star Trek. The fantasy aspect of Star Trek for me is every now and then on that show, a group of work colleagues will get together, sit around a big table, and talk through a problem like fucking adults. It's total fantasy. My favorite Star Trek moment happens in The Next Generation. I think it's like season 3, episode 5. Anyway, the Enterprise is in a nebula. It's frying all their systems. Nothing's working. They're really in a bad way. And all of a sudden, this other ship comes out of the nebula and is on a direct collision course with them. They can't do anything. And then, hi Jane, come on in. And then Captain Picard gets out of his chair, takes 2 steps forward, and he gives the greatest order I've ever heard. He just says, suggestions. And his subordinates give him suggestions. Like, Riker doesn't throw up his hands like, hey man, I just work here, you do it. They all like work as a team, and they like defer to each other, and there's no, Like I said, pure fantasy. So I like to think of myself as a nice man. And part of me has been suspicious that the reason I'm so nice is because I lived a very non-stressful life. And so recently, as I mentioned like a few months ago, I started this job and it was really stressful and people weren't very nice to me and it was my first real job. Jane knows, who worked in the same place. And I wanted to see like, I wonder if this stress like was making me meaner. I was suspicious like of this. So I asked my fiance, I said, you know, since I started this job, have you noticed, have I gotten any meaner? And she said, you know what, actually, yeah, a little bit. And so I told her, fuck you. I just did 6 minutes of comedy in 5 minutes. That was it. I'm done.
In 5 minutes. Amazing! Clap it up again for Chris. This is the part of the show where I talk about drink specials. What? Holy crap!